Hey, this is Linz, and you are watching Support the Scene.
Hey guys, this is Jay from Support the Scene. I'm here with one of our favorite guests. Now, for those who don't know you, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Randy LaRock. I am the guitar player for Heathanz Sinz.
That's awesome. So, we've touched upon other interviews where we've talked about your history and kind of how things have been going. Now, people should know you, but for those who really don't, give us like a brief elevator pitch on what type of music.
We are like an old school 80s groove metal band. Picture Judas Priest meets Accept meets Metallica.
Love it. Now, hold on, let me just do this. You've been going for years now.
Yeah, we're going on year 3 for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Been a good journey.
How many records have you put out?
We've got 2. One was a full length. I think it was like maybe 8 or 9 songs on it. We just released an EP of 6 new songs, but on the CD itself, like we got some hard copies printed as well. I don't know, some people actually use CDs anymore. It seems to be kind of on the passe, but it's something that, people sometimes like to have a hard copy of something, right?
Oh, for sure.
We remixed 3 of our older songs, Monster Inside, which is our ode to 80s metal ballads.
Yeah.
We redid Acid Tears, and then we also did Horizontal Hitman. We had a bit of a restructuring a couple of years ago now, so we've got new drummer, new bass player, and a new singer, which has really shaped our sound to sort of be a little bit more aggressive, maybe.
That's awesome.
A little heavier, maybe. We still have that 80s metal groove, where you can either get up and dance to it, or you can sit there and headbang and have a good time. So we didn't want to lose that groove, but the new members have really added another layer of heaviness to it. Our singer Gustavo, he's from Brazil. Our lead guitar player is from Colombia. He's into prog metal. Our drummer is he's fairly young, but he's just an incredible metal drummer. And then we got another old dog like myself on bass guitar. He's got a punk background, so we've got quite the diverse backgrounds and talents in the band, and it's really sort of shaped what we do now. So everybody's involved in the writing process. So it's not just my songs anymore, which is awesome. It's everybody's tunes. So even the older ones we've redone, and the guys have put in their own drum parts, their own bass parts, their own lead parts. So it's evolved to a place now where we can just focus on being tight, focus on
totally.
The performance as well, right? It's one thing to go and see a band and have them sound good, which is awesome, but we want to entertain them a little bit as well. Julian's a wild man over there on the guitar. He's just giving her hell. Keith is doing the same thing. Tyler, he looks like Animal from the Muppets. He's just all over the place. It's just phenomenal. So we're now able to expand our musical style as well as the live performances, because that's ultimately where it's at, right? We're not a garage band. We don't want to sit there and play three gigs a year. We want to be, if we're doing a gig a month, a happy man, right?
Exactly, right. You got to keep playing, keep getting the audiences interested.
Absolutely.
Now, with the new with the new sound and getting heavier, and how do you find the writing process between writing as a group versus when you were just writing the songs?
Oh, it's so much better now, because now I'm not thinking about, okay, so if I'm going to do this, what's the bass going to do? And then what's the drums going to do? And what's this going to do? And how am I going to write the lyrics and all this stuff? Now I basically just come up with a couple of riffs and I'm like, hey, that sounds kind of cool. And I sort of say, you know, I stick them in my recording program and I'll say, okay, this sounds like it would be a verse. This sounds like it would be a chorus. This sounds like it would be a refrain or a bridge or whatever. And I sort of slap something together and then I send it to the guys and I say, what do you think? And then next thing you know, they're sending me all their parts. And it's awesome because the bass player comes up with shit that I never would have thought of. And then the drummer comes up and goes, what about if I play this here? Yeah, that sounds good. And then Julian adds his magic. Gustavo's been getting involved in the lyric writing process. So he wrote the lyrics for False Prophet. And the music was written by Julian. And then we just all added our parts. So it's awesome. The new album. We've got 1, 2, 3 songs co-written by Julian and Gustavo. And I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Because I mean, we tend to, as musicians, when we're writing music, we tend to get pigeonholed into our little box that we like to play in, right? And without the other guy's energies, you kind of get stuck in that. And so with everybody else now involved in the writing process, we're coming up with stuff that we never would have thought of before, right? Like, what do we try this? Why don't we try this? Let's make it we try to get a little bit more complex. Like our new song Bleed is very complex, and we're working on one now called Shallow Grave, which is a lot more complex, but we still want to keep that head banging groove, right? You know, that's where people can, get up and move a shit, right?
Totally. And and it's really great when you see the songs kind of blossom into them, into themselves as their own, versus coming with a prepared song. And because, as you said, like, all the different minds, all the different flavors kind of add together to make something new and exciting. And and that's what I'm really excited about with the new EP, is kind of seeing with it versus some of the old recordings, and kind of hearing the evolution, really.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I still listen to the old stuff that we recorded, and I love it. It was a lot of fun at the time. I was doing all of the mixing and mastering myself, and I was still fairly new at it as well. So, I mean, I look at it from an engineer sort of standpoint. The sound quality is night and day difference from the original one. Where the direction is because everybody else is sort of adding their parts, and it's not just me, putting together a package. It's so much more advanced. It takes a little longer to do because we're constantly trying to keep adding seasoning to the sauce. So I mean, sometimes instead of saying, okay, we're finally done the song, it's constantly evolving, because we want to be able to play the songs on the album exactly the way we're going to play it live. I mean, there's nothing worse than hearing a band going, yeah, that song's fucking awesome, and then you go and hear it live and you go, hell's that, right?
Yeah. I think one of my first bands I ever played in Vancouver, where I played guitar, we had a bunch of demos up from us just playing in like at our place, and we had our first gig ever. And we were playing what's just escaped my tongue. It's a little place just kind of halfway towards downtown. Really tiny stage, and we had our full stacks. We had a drum kit. We were basically playing off on the ground. And a band message before called Titan's Eve, that were pretty big in Vancouver at the time, and they'd heard the demos and were like, oh, sounds awesome, let's go check it out. And they came, and I remember it was the first time hearing my guitar so loud that I kind of got really stage shy, and like we just completely shit the bed, and like it just sounded horrible. And they listened for 2 songs and then made their escape. And I remember sitting there. I looked up after 2 songs, and then they weren't there anymore. I was like, oh, but that's just the thing.
It's all part of the growing pains, right?
Exactly. I think we've all been there. But like I think that's a great thing. Keeping things live, keeping things so you can listen to the album, you can come and really get the experience, right?
Well, exactly. I mean, we have no illusions of being the next Motley Crue or Judas Priest or anything like that. It's a hobby for us. I mean, yeah, we don't make bupkis on it. And anything that we do make from our gigs goes back into like making our CDs or getting merch or whatever. I mean, I joke and I say I'm not a musician. I'm a traveling T-shirt salesman, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that helps pay for our recordings and stuff like that. And if we decide we want to go out of town, it'll help pay for some gas and all that kind of stuff. We're not expecting to make millions of dollars. And I think that ship has sailed in the music industry. Everybody's making money off the musicians, except the musicians.
Yeah.
Right? The venues make the money, the bookers make the money, you know, people are trying to, you know, oh, give me $150 and I'll get you 1,000 streams. Whoop-de-doo. That gives me what, $1.50?
Yeah.
You know, so we're doing this because we love the music. And I mean, there's nothing better than firing up our gear with our buddies and just letting it rip, right? And when you get up and on that stage and that adrenaline kicks in and you just start feeling that vibe, there's nothing better, right?
Exactly. Now, where can everyone find you on the social medias?
Oh my God, we're everywhere. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. All of our music's now everywhere: Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Napster, Deezer, everywhere. And I mean, everywhere where you normally find music, we're there. We also have hard copy CDs so that we schlep at our gigs if you want an actual hard copy, and you know, we'll sign it or whatever. It might be worth like, you know, 25 cents in a couple of years, so who knows?
Yeah, right? Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining me. Any last words you want to say to our audience?
We just the support that we've had over the last year and a half, 2 years, and we're seeing more and more new faces. We get more and more people coming up and saying, you know, they're enjoying our stuff. That's what we're doing this for. I mean, we'd be just as happy playing anywhere, but when we're playing in front of people and we see people out there in the crowd getting into our music, that's just a feeling like you just can't even describe, right? It's an energy that it fuels us, right? So all the support that we've had over the last couple of years, I mean, we're so grateful for it. And we're just looking to play in front of more people. And come on, if you haven't seen us, come on out. I guarantee you're going to have a good time. If you don't like the music, we're at least going to make an ass of ourselves. So at least you'll have a good chuckle anyway. So, I mean, one way or another, you're going to have fun.
Wise words, wise words. Now, everyone go check out the links that will be down below to go check out the new EP and go support the band. Now, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for supporting the scene. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share, and keep rocking. And we will see you guys later. Bye.
Thanks for watching. This is Support the Scene. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, follow, and share.